Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Happy holidays to all of you. I hope that you're having an awesome time, whether you celebrate this season or not. I decided this year to take a comment suggestion on my most recent community post. I said that I'd pick the one that I liked the most, and honestly, I've been thinking about doing this one for quite a while anyway. Thank you to aka Fusion for the suggestion, and without further ado, here is What If Goku Stayed Single. The real question is, how does this happen? Is Goku just not into Chi-Chi here, or do we have to go even further back to make it so Chi-Chi never developed a fascination with Goku in the first place? While I think that either of these scenarios could work here, I'm going to go with the former in this case. For whatever reason, Goku just shrugs it off, says that he didn't know what marriage was back then, and that he doesn't want to go down that path with someone he barely knows. Little does he know that he never will. Understandably, Chi-Chi is hurt and angry about this, but Goku stands his ground, and eventually Chi-Chi lets it lie. I'm just kidding, she's going to be sticking around the group and basically stalking Goku lunch style, to try and change his mind. This does mean that she'll be in the background, and I'm probably not going to mention her again for the rest of this What If. With that out of the way, we can begin with the opening of the Saiyan Arc. Raditz has nobody to kidnap this time. But I think that he still offers Goku the ultimatum. Just do it, Kakarot! If you don't, I'm just going to do it anyway, but you will be on the pile. Of course, this goes as you'd expect, except for there's no Gohan to save, which allows Goku and Piccolo to plan a little better instead of just rushing in. They actually do try sneaking up by suppressing their power this time, and they successfully manage to take a dozing Raditz by surprise, landing some effective early attacks and weakening Raditz tremendously. Eventually, Raditz and Goku are both killed by the Makan Po. Kami takes Goku to Enma and sends him on his way to train with Kaio, while Piccolo trains alone. I think that this results in Piccolo being slightly stronger, having been able to focus on his own training for the entire time. But it's not going to matter much against Nappa. Yamcha, Chaozu and Ten Shinhan have fallen by the time Goku arrives, with Piccolo only just clinging on to life. From here, the fight with Nappa and the initial fight with Vegeta go the same way as always, with the change coming in the fight against Ozaru Vegeta. It's Piccolo who has to use all of his might to distract Vegeta while Goku and Krillin hatch their plan. Piccolo is skilled enough to take advantage of Vegeta's wounds and stay on his blind side, and just as Vegeta tries to avoid the Genki Dama, Piccolo hits him with a haymaker, knocking him straight into it. While Vegeta still isn't down yet, Piccolo's giant form keeps him on the run, with Krillin eventually landing a Taiyoken on Vegeta, leading to him getting trapped under giant Piccolo as he falls. In a similar fashion to the original, Goku lets Vegeta escape, leading to a familiar mad race for the Namekian Dragon Balls. Krillin, Piccolo and Bulma head to Namek first, their motive being to stop Vegeta getting his immortality on Namek and coming back to finish the job, while also resurrecting Chaozu, who can't be revived by Earth's Dragon Balls. Interestingly, if you replace Gohan with Piccolo in this situation, after saving Dende, he actually gets to meet Nail before the fusion. Of course, there's no going backwards or forwards this time. Piccolo is no nonsense, and after saving Dende, has him take him and Krillin straight to Guru, who unlocks both of their potential. This does wonders for Piccolo. I think at this point he's only a little bit weaker than Nail. Meanwhile, the rest of the arc goes in a similar direction. Piccolo and Krillin split up, with Piccolo going after Vegeta's Dragon Ball. Vegeta heads back to find Piccolo holding his Dragon Ball and smirking. Piccolo is a fair bit stronger than Vegeta here, and the fight is very one-sided. Eventually, however, they're interrupted by a huge power approaching the planet. They head back to Krillin and hide the Dragon Balls with Bulma, only to head off in a different direction. You see, Vegeta suspects that Piccolo is potentially stronger than Recoome and Guldo, but Jace, Berta and Ginyu? Perhaps not. But if they take advantage of their showmanship, then maybe they can kill them one at a time. Ginyu flies off to search for the Dragon Balls, while Krillin manages to take down Guldo, with Vegeta landing the killing blow as always. But Vegeta is then absolutely devastated by Recoome, forcing Piccolo to jump in and help. Together, the three of them get the upper hand and Recoome goes down, only for Jace and Berta to step up. This is very one-sided, but just when all hope seems lost, Goku arrives, single-handedly and easily defeating Berta, prompting Jace to run off after the captain. Goku sends Krillin to guard Bulma and the Dragon Balls and to try and bring Chaozu back, which he does. Vegeta is now at least above Jace in power, placing him above Piccolo also. Vegeta abandons Goku to go and get his wish, which he quickly realizes isn't going to happen due to the password. Piccolo manages to shove Goku out of the way of the body swap, but gets swapped himself. Piccolo manages to get his body back on Ginyu's second attempt, only for Ginyu to get his way the third time, flying away and leaving Goku to bleed in his old body. Piccolo helps Goku to find Ginyu, where Vegeta is kicking 50 Shades of Purple into him. Ginyu tries to change, only for Goku to regain his body and Ginyu to end up as a frog. Piccolo blasts off to meet Dende, while Goku heals up, leaving Krillin to guard the Dragon Balls and Vegeta to guard Goku and move him if necessary. Once Piccolo reaches him, they exchange information. Dende is informed that Goku is healing up at Frieza's ship, while Piccolo finds out that Dende can heal people and that Nail has been distracting Frieza. Astonished, Piccolo uses his telepathy to contact Vegeta, telling him to move Goku to the Dragon Ball location, as there's a faster way to heal him up. He then points Dende in the right direction and books it towards the fight, though he soon realizes that Nail is in way over his head. As the fighting dies down, Piccolo drops his power level and swims further so he can get closer without alerting Frieza. And it's a good job that he did, because Frieza is enraged and flies off at full speed towards his ship. Luckily, Vegeta has managed to move Goku to Krillin's location by now, and it's not long before Dende arrives. He heals Goku as Vegeta laments that they won't have long to get their wishes and demands to be made immortal. However, I think that Dende tricks Vegeta here, fulfilling the group's wish to revive Chaozu instead. Livid, Vegeta has to be held back by a much stronger Goku, while the second wish is about to be used, when suddenly Piranha vanishes, and the Dragon Balls turn to stone. Seconds later, Frieza is on them. Because he still has a scouter on at this point, he realizes that Goku is no joke, though he indulges Vegeta first, who also surprises him with his power. He transforms, dwarfing Vegeta's power and knocking him around, but before Goku steps in, Piccolo arrives, newly fused with Nail, and dominates Frieza's second form completely. Frieza transforms again, but much to his surprise, Piccolo can keep up with this form as well. That's infuriating for Frieza, but not to worry, he can do it again, and he does. Frieza transforms into his final form and snipes out Dende after he heals Vegeta and Piccolo. Vegeta is once again knocked around and left bleeding, but Goku steps in to stop this from going any further. From here, the plot pretty much plays out exactly as it does in the manga, with one massive difference. Vegeta survives this fight. Vegeta witnesses Goku's transformation into the Super Saiyan, Vegeta saves Piccolo, and he takes him to the Ginyu Force's ships, and escapes Namek before it explodes. The Wish plan is used and everyone but Goku and Frieza are sent back to Earth. Goku, as we know, escapes the planet and lands on Yardrat, where Vegeta and Piccolo landed only a few minutes earlier. The Ginyu pods were all pre-programmed to head there. This means that all three of these characters learn one or more methods of spirit control. On Earth, everyone else is revived, and the Namekians depart to their new world. Once Goku, Piccolo, and Vegeta return, they find an unexpected guest waiting for them. Frieza and King Cole were destroyed by a young Super Saiyan called Trunks. He takes Goku aside and explains that in his world, Goku died of a heart virus, and then two killer cyborgs went on a rampage, killing everyone. Krillin was the only one to survive and took it upon himself to train Trunks. He then gives Goku his medication and leaves to go back to his future. Now, for the next 3 years, Goku, Piccolo, and Vegeta will all be training together. I think all three managed to learn at least one technique from Yardrat. Vegeta learning the cloning technique, Piccolo learning the healing technique, and Goku still learning instant teleportation. Vegeta in this time also learned Super Saiyan from being in close proximity to, and, once he managed to swallow a part of his pride, training with Goku on Yardrat. So this makes the training a lot more effective. And with both Piccolo and Vegeta nearby, Goku takes his medication this time. The first part of this goes as it always does, right up to the fight with number 19, which Goku handily wins. Number 20 makes a run for it, and eventually manages to make it back to his lab, where number 17 and 18 are unleashed, and in turn, release number 16. Now, Vegeta is stronger here, but not as strong as number 18, who breaks his arm. Trunks, Piccolo, and the others are knocked down as well, with Goku being overwhelmed by number 16 and forced to teleport away with everyone to regroup. Piccolo goes straight to the lookout to fuse with Kami, while the others form a plan. Piccolo's fight with Cell goes the exact same way, although Piccolo is stronger here. While the others head to the Room of Spirit and Time, Piccolo ends up fighting number 17 until Cell appears and absorbs him. Vegeta comes out of the chamber far stronger than in the original, followed by Trunks. Everything here goes the same way as the original, while Goku takes his turn in the chamber. I think the Cell games still happen here, but this time Goku wouldn't be taking chances. He has no reason to assume that it'll all be okay here, and therefore I think he takes another turn in the chamber, this time with Vegeta. Vegeta comes out as grade 4, while Goku, who went in again as grade 4, has soared to new heights. I think this Goku here is at least level to Gohan in canon. I think that Goku fights hard for the win and probably almost manages it. This is a Goku who has pushed himself far above his limits, but eventually he calls it a day, retiring the fight, and sending in Vegeta. This time, Cell will not be receiving a Senzu Bean. But there's been a trick here, something that I haven't told you yet. Because Vegeta and Goku both have the capacity to learn a new ability that both of them would know about, and Vegeta actually learns this in canon. I'm, of course, talking about Forced Spirit Fission. It took Vegeta 3 months to learn this technique on Yardrat in the manga, having never used Spirit Control before. This Vegeta has the use of Spirit Control, and has had a lot of time to use in the chamber. All he had to do was solicit Goku to take him to Yardrat, and learn the training method from Paibara before entering the room with Goku. Call it a failsafe, in the event that Grade 4 isn't powerful enough to beat Cell. Vegeta has already been taken out by Cell once, and now that Goku has thrown in the towel, Vegeta is left with little choice but to follow through with the plan. Cell immediately gets cocky and allows Vegeta to get a few hits in. Vegeta starts by testing the water, but quickly realizes that he's still no match, and resorts to the plan, no matter how much he hates it. One powerful punch later, and Cell is gasping for air, as number 18 instantly splits away from him, and is quickly retrieved by Goku. Another hard punch, and number 17 is freed too, while Cell sprawls on the floor, reverted back to his first form. At this point, it's more than a little easy for Vegeta to finish Cell off for good. Trunks returns to his timeline and kills the cyborgs, while time in the present moves forward. The next thing that we need to talk about is the tournament. No one enters it. Well, maybe Krillin and number 18 do, but nobody else does, due to no Gohan and no Videl blackmail story. The fact that Goku didn't die here has meant that he and Vegeta train fairly regularly, and within the 7 years it takes Babidi to arrive, they've both reached Super Saiyan 2. Though, that's their limit, for now. With no Majin Vegeta, I think it's safe to say that when Babidi comes out of the woodwork and the group are alerted by Shin, he goes down without releasing Buu. Sooner or later, Beerus wakes up and comes for the Super Saiyan God. However, this is where we're going to encounter our first problem going forward. Although there's no Buu to rile up Beerus, there's also not 6 Saiyans to perform the ritual, only 3. Beerus laments letting Frieza blow up planet Vegeta, but Whis suggests that there's probably another way to give the Saiyans God Ki. Beerus agrees to allow Whis to train Goku and Vegeta, and honestly most of Super goes the same way from this point onwards, with only the absence of Gohan and Goten to account for. Since they aren't really active in any of the first few arcs, I'm not going to waste time mentioning them. Until of course we arrive at the Tournament of Power. I think that Piccolo is team captain this time around, as his strategic mind will be important here. Number 17 and number 18 still take part, and so will number 16, taking the empty space on the team. This time, Goku has to take a break from relentlessly pursuing Jiren to deal with Kefla. But not much else changes. Frieza and Goku still work together to knock Jiren out, and number 17 claims the wish. Now, we only really have to account for the superhero arc. Quite frankly, I don't even think that it will happen as we know it this time, since Pan doesn't exist, and so Piccolo won't have a reason to mess around. He makes a wish to Shenron, asking if there's any other ways he can gain a power boost. Shenron gives Piccolo the ability to access Orange Piccolo and boosts him to his current maximum, as in canon. Now, I think by this point in the story, Piccolo has probably learned instant teleportation. It's been at least 16 years since Cell was defeated, and Vegeta even reused an old spirit control move recently when fighting Moro. So I think that the moment Piccolo realizes that Red Ribbon Army's plan is to bring out an intensely powerful Cell variant, he teleports to Goku and Vegeta immediately and brings them back to Earth. Goku and Vegeta in blue are stated to be weaker than Cell Max in the movie. However, I have a feeling that Piccolo hasn't seen their progress with their respective Ultra forms in that time. I think that in the end, the three of them, with the help from Krillin number 18, the Gammas and Trunks, eventually managed to take Cell Max down. Goku goes back to Beerus' world. He's still thinking about Frieza's new form, and how he and Vegeta can possibly overcome it. Suddenly, a funny thought pops into his head. What if he'd gotten married all those years ago and had children like Vegeta? How weird would that have been? Chuckling to himself, Goku heads back to Vegeta and Broly. And that's where this story comes to a close. At least, for now. Whew, this was a long one. Although early Super remained mostly the same due to the phasing out of Gohan, Z had the most changes to account for. Honestly, once I realised that Vegeta and Piccolo would end up on Yardrat alongside Goku, the solution to Cell wrote itself. It might seem like it's cheesy, but to be honest, there's not many other ways they could have defeated him without Gohan. I think that Vegeta would have recognised this, and Goku wouldn't object to having a backup plan. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. I hope that your Christmas, or whichever holiday you're celebrating, is fantastic. Have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next one.